So we're going to go ahead and do a walkthrough here of GSA. Of course, make sure that it's updated. The very next step that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to push on new. Now I'm going to set it up so you're able to maximize the amount of links that you're receiving. So the first order of business here is we want to choose the types of links that we're going to produce. Now I've gone through the testing already, so you want to follow along. We're going to do article, blog comment, directories, forum, guest book, image, skip indexer. You could do indexer. Some of them hit. Microblog, pingback, skip, refer. Sometimes they hit. RSS feed. Nope. Social. Yeah, you can hit it if you have one. Social network, trackback, skip, URL shortener, skip, video. It's up to you if you want to skip it. We're going to do Web 2 and Wiki. So the next order of business is we want to start filling out this sheet or this form, I would assume. So again, I'm looking to maximize the amount of links. So I'm going to fill this out the fastest way. You can take your time if you want, setting certain details, but this is how I do it. So when we come in here to URL, of course, this is what we're going to be promoting, but oftentimes you're not going to want to put your website in here. You're going to want a list of sites because you're helping power it up. So in order to do that, you would click edit, and then you would add in your text. So import file as a text document. All right, for this, or you could do it from clipboard. But for this example, I'll just put in https://palmer.com. All right, coming down the list. So we're going to look at keywords. So the keywords we want to stick to specifics, right? Whatever's tickling your fancy for the day. We're going to do SEO. Anchor text. Again, I like to keep this very particular. So what I'm going to use is, where is it? Well, I'm just going to put it in. I usually put Palmer, MARKTING, 30 West Broad Street, whatever you want. Or you could just put your URL, right? I like to make either the anchor text as a citation, because usually that's what we're powering up, or just put your link as the anchor. Try to use this. So this down in here, so this is the image comment. No matter what, we're going to take this. And then generally what I'll do is I'll just put this. So like Chris for speed, Palmer, MARKTING.com. What am I thinking? And then you could put like, I don't know, whatever you want. So no matter what, we're going to do this, but I want to mention generally you're going to be building links to what's in here. So in order to circumvent that or to make that, you want to put %, URL, %. And what that'll do is it'll take the links from up here. All right, whatever's in your list or the domain that you utilized. So that's up to you. But if you want to put specific links and specific types, you can write it in. So I gave you both examples here, and that's the image comment. So moving forward, it's just going to be this. All right, website title. I like to put NAP in here, name, address, phone number. It's completely up to you, or brand, trying to blast that brand out there. Categories, you can take your time here. This can sometimes limit you depending on the list that you shove in there. But again, that's going to be up to you. What I would do is just click suggested and click them all. All right. For sake of time in video, I'm not going to click them all, but I hit them all. Hit them all except for anything to do with anything that's going to be safe search filtered stuff. All right, moving on. Description is going to be name, address, phone number, or whatever you're promoting, the brand name plus the URL that's up at the top. All right, or URLs, and it's going to shift. It'll swap them for you. When we come down in here, a little bit about yourself. You can leave this in here, but no matter what, I hit an enter, and it has to contain this. So this is spin tax. It'll just spit stuff out. You can add your own spin tax here as well if you wanted to. The same with any section. All right, but URL has to go in there, and I took it out of the section if you noticed. That way it'll show up no matter what. If you don't like how that is, you can come down here and add it to the bottom. So it'll be spin tax nonsense and then drop. The reason why you always want stuff up at the top is because a lot of sites will trim stuff or do little excerpts, but no matter what, they take from top down. So if you're going to include anything, include my link. That's why we do that. Profile, we're just going to have a little picture in there. You can upload your image. The URL, again, if you're building personas out, you may want to put this in here. So just for sake of fun, we're going to put twitter.com or for the example, com/SEO Palmer. And that's my Twitter handle, PALMER. Facebook URL. Again, if you're building a persona, this is a great time to put something in here. Okay, but then we'll do /groups/Chris Palmer SEO. All right, forum comment, same rule applies here. Get out of the syntax beginning or the start, and no matter what, you force include the URL that they choose from the top, and it rotates for you. Moving down the list here. So micro message, URL, blog comment. See, the blog comment section I would clean because I want it to be specific. So URL and then put brand, right? Up to you though. Forum nickname, this will randomize them for you. Forum subject, randomize. All this stuff, you might want to fill this out. I have a profile already filled out, but you can type the stuff in here, the address. So this is important. It'll, on sites that ask for this, it'll spit your stuff out. So that's that. I would fill nonsense in here. We don't want to be, we are spamming sites. That's the objective of the software, which can be frowned upon for some people, not me, but for some people. So might want to skip that one, but you have to put something in here or the tool will yell at you. Signature, URL goes first. They could do whatever they want. All right. Guest book. Again, thank you, but come right out of here, out of the syntax, URL. Website name, brand name. All right. Description, URL, and NAP details generally, meaning name, address, phone number, and brand name. Description. So you have to fill out each section if you decided to check it over here. All right. So we're going to scroll down the list. That's what I'm doing here. Gilly URL. All right. Now, what I mean by yell at you, when I click this button, if I did anything that was wrong, it will yell, it'll ding, and it'll take you to the section. So let's see if we got everything right. Please define an article. Oh, darn, I wanted to do an article. I missed it. So how I do that is we don't do articles. That's madness. That's too much work. We're looking for speed, right? So what I do is I come into the article and I click add and I enter manually. What do I want it to be? I want it to be my NAP or brand name. Probably want to spell that right, maybe just for fun, brand. And then the summary is easy. We're just going to do NAP plus brand, but let's not forget our URL, of course. And then the body is, again, NAP or brand, and then URL. Just because the more content, if I have a bunch of text, the tool will take even longer. I want to spit out as many links as I possibly can. Now, this is where we want to pay very close attention. We want to maximize our spamming efforts, right? So in order to maximize spamming efforts, if you take a look down in here, see where this is? Insert up to 1 to 2 random authority URLs. Turn that off. I don't want anyone's links in there except for my own. But what we want to do is see this one that's up at the top. Power always trickles down. Google reads pages from top to bottom. So we want our links up at the top. So we want to choose this drop down, choose a random sentence. No, thank you. Just a link at a random, use first preset link, random, no, change, use. All right. On first paragraph with 100%. Insert up to additional links, 0 to 2, absolutely not. Some sites have a lot of filters. What I found is your sweet spot is we want to do 3, okay? That way they all get through. That means every single link that we drop out, if it allows it, it'll put 4 links. The main one that we're doing, plus it'll take 3 more off the list. Spit them in there. Beautiful thing. So scroll down. Do not submit the same article more than 1 time. You want to shut this off because we are producing the same article hundreds of thousands of times. So perfect. Please fill out your category. Oh, I messed up. So let's scroll down. Where is she? Where is it? Where are you? This one? This one? This one? Ah, there it is. Edit, add, suggest. Again, I would click all these, but just for this video, we'll click OK. All right. That's the initial setup. All right. And we did that right here. This is the newest one. Now, when we're taking a look at this, there's a couple of options. There's more setup, but I want to point this out because it's here and it's fresh. We just got done laying in the types of links and how we want to do it. But now I want to show you the different types of status, priority, submitted, and verified. All right. Submitted means it dropped the link. Verified means it dropped it and then it went back and said, yep, it's there. Okay. So that's how that is. And then as far as this activity, you want to click on the activity. It says active, but then there's different types of priority. Priority means, hey, if I have 20 different projects running, do I want to allocate a lot of CPU resource to this, or do I want to maybe just do a little bit less? Generally, we're doing 1 at a time, and we want to put on 2 pluses as the max. It's allocating all the resource to that. Also, when talking about resources in GSA, speed, and how many links it's producing, I want to point out one more thing to you. If you come down here to your, because you're going to, whether you're on a VPS or on your home computer, you want to do this. All right. So what you'll want to do is hit Control-Alt-Delete. All right. And go to your task manager. When you're inside of your task manager, you want to find GSA. All right, go to your GSA. You want to right click and you want to go to details. So head on out to your details and find it in this row right here. Find it. It's already highlighted. Right click and you want to set the priority to real time. That way it takes precedence over everything else that's running and it runs faster. That means more links for us. Very important. We've talked about activity, speed, submission rate, verified, and how to jack it up so it just runs the most efficient and as fast as possible. Now let's talk about narrowing things down. So you want to come over here to your options. All right, that's in the right-hand side. Now, depending on your system, the threads to use, ideal is $1.50. All right. But if you have a really nice system and you want to go completely insane, you can go 500. Now it's going to yell at you, but you can put 500 in here and it will fly. But this is massively dependent on your system. If you're sitting on a 1 virtual core with 2 gigs of RAM, this isn't for you. If you have your home computer, then you're sitting on an AMD 8700X and you have 60 gigs of RAM, go for it. Run it. So with that being said, let's keep moving forward. So use proxies 1000%, but we don't want to burn the proxies. The only thing the proxy is for is so I can successfully navigate to the website and drop the link. I don't want to use my money to do anything else except for that. Money as in paying for a proxy. So what you want to do is you want to come over here and see how it's already preset. It knows my style. You click here, use proxy, search engines. Yes, we're going to use private proxies and then submission. Private, because we're going to load proxies in. But how do you do that? Well, let me share with you how to go ahead and load your proxies in. That'll be the next system. What we want to do here is we want to click on the configure button. So go ahead and click that. Once we click on configure, the next thing is add proxy. Now, depending on where you buy it, there's going to be a few different ways that they send them to you. Generally, it's username, password, username, password, and then username, password, or IP, port, username, password. That's usually the format. So if you just take a look right here, it gives it to you. It'll show you what the layout will be. A lot of times you're just going to come in here and just upload utilizing, just click add. You know what I mean? Come in here. There's also these sources you could get for free, but I would recommend paying for your proxies. So that's how you load the proxies in. Now, the next thing that we want to do is there are a few things that we want to make sure of when running this tool. We can't go completely hog wild. So let's just take a look down this list here. There's captcha. This right here will maximize the amount of links. If you do not have GSA captcha breaker, I would recommend it. It's an additional $100 one-time fee. It's not monthly or yearly. It'll get you probably 30% more links that actually hit. So it's up to you. And so that's a good tool. I have it. I paid for it. We come down here to advanced. This is the section that we want to load our list into. All right. So how I do it is this. This is a very important section. So we click on advanced, go to site lists. Anything that ends up being verified, you want to turn that list on. Now, what I do is I come down here and you configure a custom list file. All right. You can load your list into here, but then when you're up in this section, you have to configure, you have to find it again. It's a pain. So the easiest way to do this is turn that crap off. You want to click this button so that way all your verifieds go into a master list. You want to keep those for other profiles, but in your failed, open that folder up and put your .sl files, .sl inside of here. Inside of the failed section. Once you have your .sl file inside of the fail section, you come over here to where the profile is, this blue, whatever one you just created, and you right click, and then you come in here and you go to import target URLs from site list. And it's going to ask you, well, from where? All right. This one I already configured. That's why it showed up so easily. Just come in here like this. Bam. Now, if you're starting a new profile, you always click verified and the failed, because your new stuff you put into the fail section, unless you want to go through the configuration process, up to you. But I usually load in through failed because that's the extra. And then I say, okay, the verified's too. So now I'm because every single month when you get a new list, you always get your own verifieds. So I want to keep those plus the new stuff and add that and just hammer. And that's how you load your list. And that's how you stay efficient. The next thing, there's one more piece that I want to point out, and that's limiting and putting a few little qualifiers on the links that we want to build. All right. Some are morality filters and some are just best practice for SEO. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. We're going to click this button here, make sure that it's blue. we're going to come over here and go to edit. And then what we want to do is we want to click on options. All right. And I saved this for last because we talked about everything. I'll do a wrap up at the end to make sure I covered everything, but we'll go to options. And here's what we want to point out. Services to fill captcha. All right. If you paid for captcha breaker, then you want to click this button and you want to make sure whatever it was, you can ask all the services, but usually it's the first service, which we set up over there in captcha breaker under the options tab. Okay. So it was over here. All right. Under the tools, you plug in your GSA, because if you do manual, you'll keep getting pop-ups. And that means it's eating resource. We don't want to do that. All right. So it's going to go to there, captcha breaker. The next thing, enable custom mode. Nope. Verified links must have exact URL. That's fine. When to verify automatically? No. All right. It's up to you. I like to do all the submissions up front, let them sit, because some sites ditch them, because I'm trying to make a master verify list, right? That's key, right? So I do never. And then after it runs up a list, I'll hit the verify button, right? Because you can, what I mean by this is if I come over here, right, and I'm on up projects, yeah, there's 64,000 links here. If I right click, I could go to set status. And what I want it to do is I want it to validate. All right. It's not submission. It's validating that the link is done. Submission means it's there, but sometimes sites get rid of them. So lay them all out because it's the fastest thing, and then come back later and verify, hey, what actually stuck? That way you only get the hot stuff in your verify list. All right. So back to this, we're going to go back to our account, right click. We're going to come into here. Oh, my mistake. Make sure it's highlighted. Go here to edit. Then we're going to go to options. Now that we're on options, again, where were we? Where did I leave off here? Send verified to index services. Heck, all that does is slow you down. Get rid of that. If you're paying dough, there's no such thing as an indexing service. The only thing an indexer does is it's a crawling service. Google makes the end decision. So I don't want to help force anything. I'm not going to spend money to help people see it. If Google doesn't see it and it doesn't index and it doesn't have any value, then it doesn't have any value. Period. End of statement. So we're going to keep going down here. Try to locate the URL and no engine. No. If it's always searching and finding and there's no engine, it's going to be wasting resource. Get rid of it. All right. What we want to do is we're going to keep scrolling down. There's another section in here that's super important. So add stop words to a query. No. Stop words are in, the, and. No, don't add anything. I got this. We come over here, always use keywords to find target sites. No, because that means it's in the background, it's allocating a portion of your CPU to help you find sites. No, I'm running on a verified list. I want as many as possible. I want to hit 12,000 links an hour. That's the benchmark. If you're not hitting 1,200 an hour, then you're not running right. So we're going to come down in here. Don't use quotes. Use URLs from the global site list if enabled. Yes. That way it's always getting from your list. So you can hit this. You can turn these babies on. Let it keep grabbing those only from the list. All right. Use URLs linking on the same verified URL. Sure. Analyze and post a competitor backlinks. Not for this project. All right. Now allow posting on the same site again. Yes. Per URL. No. All right. So we can, if it's a different URL, yeah, go back to that site and hit them with another one, right? If you got one, why not go back again? So click that, but per URL. So allow posting per URL, one per link. All right. Post the article without the links. No way. What are you, insane? Time to wait on further registrations. This is fine. You can leave this exactly how it is. This is where it starts to get more important. These are levels of importance. They listed them. Skip sites with more than 100's nothing. We're going to go 200. Some people are worried about quality. If you're worried about quality and using this tool, this is certainly the wrong tool for you. It's not about quality. It's about quantity. So then we come down here, skip sites that are lower than 1. That's up to you. I want them all. And with PR above, I don't do this. Now down in here, they try to leave some out, but I paid for a list. I want everything I paid for. So there's 2 generally. Yep. 4. Yep. So we want those. It's because of rules and regulations but if you want to maximize, click them. All right. Because most people that don't know about this stuff just overlook it, and it comes without the thing checked. So we know about it, so we check it. Skip sites with the following words. Now, I don't care about words, but down in here, I generally like to add, it doesn't have it, but words like this, I'm not going to say them on the video. Anything that says anything like this, or stuff like this, right? You get where I'm going. If it has anything to do with anything like that, I don't want nothing to do with it. Not even for a link. So down in here, skip sites with the following words in the URL. So again, the same rules apply. I don't really care what it's about. Like these words up in here, like BOOBS, and that doesn't bother me. But certain things need to be skipped over. Now, we're going to come down here, skip sites from the following countries. Absolutely not. We're going to click OK. And now let me do a recap to make sure that I hit everything. So we ran through the initial setup, right? We went in here, we set up the initial profile. The next aspect was setting up the article and my thoughts on that. Then we walked over and we took care of proxies, loading in the proxies, how to load them in, what they are, how that works. The next aspect was coming into GSA captcha breaker, making sure that that was on so that way we could get more links, setting the speeds. I talked about submissions and speeds and times. Then I walked you through how to import a list and how to maximize your link progress or verified link progress. And then after that, I showed you some qualifiers for the link, outbound links, how fast it's cranking them out. And that pretty much does it. That is everything. So that's how you set up GSA. That's how you run GSA as fast as possible and max links. Remember, 1,200 an hour is certainly a benchmark. 1,000 an hour, you're cruising. You don't get these kind of numbers without a list generally. But that should wrap it up. And thank you for your time. That was fun.